Okay, before we go into the next chapter about risk management, let us recap what we have completed throughout the chapter 1 of this risk management. Okay, so we have understand about the nature of risk and its implication. So can you now define risk in terms of financial planning? Could you recall that? So it will be uncertainty about financial loss due to an exposure. So the second objectives that we wish to achieve in this chapter will be understanding the different types of risk. So can you recall the 6 types of risk, which is broadly classified into 3 categories. So the first one will be fundamental versus particular. So one applies to affecting everyone and the other one affecting only individual. And the dynamic risk versus static risk. So dynamic is the one that the risk that change over the time, and static risk will be the risk that will be there at most of the time. And the final classification will be like the pure risk versus the speculative risk. So out of these 6 risks, mainly 3 are insurable and the other 3 are not insurable. So can you identify the 3 that will be insurable? Next, we also discuss about the factors that can influence a person's rational thinking. Okay, so briefly we discuss about individuals' value and belief system. So the overconfidence factors, misled by short-run trend. So can you recall the example we discussed? The glove industry during the pandemic. Okay, misjudgment of magnitude of risk, and also denial of risk. Okay, denial of risk, as you can recall, also is mainly due to what the person wish to achieve. Okay, and the next one will be bias. Can you name the 4 types of bias? Can you differentiate what the 4 types of bias, which are availability bias, familiarity bias, evidence bias, and also illusion of control bias? If we were given a scenario, can you identify which bias is the one that corresponding to the scenario given? One example, talk about driving under the influence of alcohol. The example that we discussed, the wife perceive that driving under the influence of alcohol is dangerous. So is it availability bias, familiarity bias, evidence bias, or illusion of control bias? Okay. Next, we also hope that you will understand what is the or distinguish among the terms of risk, perils, and hazard. Okay, so peril is basically the main source of loss, and hazard will be the condition that cause that give the situation the potential loss. Okay, so what are the 3 main types of hazard? Okay, physical, moral, and morale. Okay, so if you can recall again, so if let's say that in a motor vehicle accidents, so what will be the example of physical hazard, moral hazard, and morale hazard? Okay, so we also discuss about demographic attributes that affecting the risk tolerance level of clients. So some of the attributes that we discuss will be like age, gender, birth sequence, marital status, occupation, wealth, knowledge, and etc. So you should be able to know now. Okay, generally a younger person will tend to be able to take more risk, or older person will tend to be able to take more risk. Okay, so how does birth sequence affect the risk-taking level? So these are the things that we have discussed earlier today. Okay, and finally also we discuss about assessing the risk tolerance of clients with different methods. Okay, in broad, first before we do any assessment, we involve information collection. Okay, so when we are collecting information, what are the two methods that we can use? One will be qualitative. So can you recall what is qualitative information collection? Which is through unstructured chatting or questionnaire or discussion. Okay, whereby quantitative method will be like using a structure format questionnaire or a test, and at most of the time a value or a point is being assigned to each and every question, and we make assessment through the points collected. And then after we collect the information, then we have just the last part that we discussed just now. We'll be doing the assessment of the information collected for us to determine what is the risk tolerance level of the client. Okay, with the understanding of all the above, and also right now we should be able to distinguish between the objective risk and also subjective risk. So we have covered the assessment or the factors that are affecting all those. So we should be able to assess the risk tolerance level of a client, and so that in order for us to do a risk management plan will be covered in the following chapter. I think that's all for chapter 1. Thank you.